Rory. So, just going to do a quick run through of the Hey Joe chords again. This time, with the strumming and the rhythm that we were talking about as well, and talk about some of those kind of chord variations we were talking about. I know we only kind of scratch the surface of that, but it's a good idea to kind of get started on that as well to get an idea of how you can kind of just do it yourself and kind of follow your nose through it before you really kind of go deep into it. So here's Hey Joe first anyway. So I'm just going to start from the C, do it 4 times, a bit slower than the real thing, and then once you're okay with this, try the real thing. So, all right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. We'll leave it there. All right. So that's it. And now, when it comes to sort of just staying on that E for a good while there, just enjoy it and don't push ahead. Kind of relax into that kind of a rhythm. Bam, ba, da, dum, bum, bam, like that. Okay. So, and as well, don't wait. As I always say, don't wait. Have your right hand waiting for your left hand. Okay. So if it's taking you a little bit longer than you'd like it to change from one chord to the next, just keep the strumming going. Okay. Which is kind of difficult as you know, it's kind of natural to wait for the chord to be there before you hit it, but just keep going. Okay, that's the main thing. And as well, get in there ahead of time as well. So um, you always have to start changing the chord even just a little bit before you actually need it, right? Because it has to be there by the time the pleck hits, not changing by the time the pleck hits. You know what I mean? So you have to get in there a little bit ahead of time. Now, the other thing I was talking about there was the chord variations. So now we didn't get into much detail on that, but I said I'd start talking about it anyway because you've got your 8 chords now, right? So we've got majors, we've got A major, C major, D major, E major, and G major. And that's why Hey Joe is great because it's got all of those in it in the one song. And then the minors, we've got A minor, D minor, there we go, and E minor. So so I was showing you how to do bar chords as well. So we'll leave that for now. We don't need to be worrying about bar chords just yet. So what we want to do now is get those chords that you do have rock solid, and that's what Hey Joe is great for. Just going from one to the next to the next to the next. That's how you get that. But in the meantime, you always have the option of messing around with the chords and just sort of change them a little bit. The easiest, the most common way of doing that is literally just to lift one of your fingers. And usually what you end up with is, at least okay, if not pretty good. So if we start off on C, right? So something like that. So you just first finger, take it off. It's a nice sounding chord. And that's called C major 7, okay? Now we won't get into what that's about just yet, okay? But so for now, just worry about what it sounds like. So that sounds nice. Well, maybe not that kind of stuff just yet, but you could do a little pull off here, let's say. Just add little variations. So these are just ideas, of things you can do with the chord once you have it on there. So, or another one, lifting the first finger, hammering it back down. D. Remember that was D sus4 we talked about there, that one. this one off, that's A sus2. You take the first finger off, that's A7. And you can do that as well. Take that one off, put it back on. And try to add fingers as well. So if we go back over the Hey Joe one, then you could add this one here. Little finger, third fret on the B string. That'll be C add 9. G. Couple of things you can do there between this string and this string. D. Yeah, sus4 like that. A sus4, or A7 even. See that there? Again, it doesn't, I'm not being too specific about these and sort of, this one is that, this one is that. Just, mess about with it. See what you can see, what kind of changes you can make, and don't worry about the names of them as much as just whether or not you like the sound of it or not. Okay? So definitely chord to chord to chord to chord on Hey Joe, but every now and then just kind of mess about with the chords and see what happens there as well. All right, talk to you next time.